All right, buddy. You gonna play video games? Okay. Put it in there. Okay, push the button. Go!
Woo!
Woo!
Weed. That's weed. What? Oh, not again.
Don't keep wiping your nose, buddy. What's wrong? Did you get a boogie?
No.
Just wipe on Daddy's shirt. Keep going.
Daddy's shirt. Stick it in there.
Are you wiping snot on me? Boy! Let's see. I'm good. Alright. Hello, everybody. It is really late right now. Adrian is still sick. Me and him played some games today. Basically, when you give him like Tylenol and everything, his temperature goes down. He's good for a few hours, and then you can kind of tell when the Tylenol is wearing off, or Motrin or whatever, ibuprofen. There we are. And he starts to kind of and just sits down and doesn't really do a great deal. And then, but while I was doing that, we played some video games. I actually, because normally what I was doing is I was taking the key, opening it up, and coining it up with the service switch inside the machine. I'm like, I'm tired of that. Forget this. So I have a cup of just quarters. So I was like, here. And I showed him how to put them in. And now he wants to put the quarters in instead of actually playing the game. He likes putting the quarters in because of the sound it makes and everything. It's really cute. I like it. But I'm like, I kind of want you to play the game too. But whatever keeps him happy. Also, brain went blank. Something I've been thinking about recently. In video games, everything right now is going to microtransactions. I mean, cosmetic ones, I don't really care about. I mean, there's like things in shmups or whatever. No, not shmups. MOBAs, massively online battle arena, like Smite, League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, those type of games. And it's like there's a lot of cosmetic things you can put in, like you buy a new skin, things like that. No big deal. It doesn't change the way the game plays. But now, my brother bought me Plants vs. Zombies 2. And you get different characters, have different abilities. And yes, you can get this by playing the game. But the thing is, the pack that you're guaranteed to get one costs 75,000 coins. Okay? So what? How many coins do you get a match? I've been getting about 2,000. So you're talking about a new character every, I don't know, 30? No. Like 35 matches? 36, 37, something like that. Maybe you get more sometimes, less others, but maybe if you're better, maybe you can cut that down maybe to 20 matches. But really, I mean, it's like, okay, I want, and you can't, it's like a loot box. It's not, you're like, okay, I want this. No, you can't get that. You have to keep buying them until you get the one you want. If you're a kid, kids just like, oh, here, ask their parents, hey, can I have a game card? It's like, oh, okay, they're going to buy a game. No, they're not buying a game. They're buying loot boxes. I mean, even the NBA games now have money inside their internal currency in the game that, like, you can draft players with or something. And I'm like, really? Like, one of the things, like, I'm a big fan of wrestling. If you haven't watched my vlog before, that might be unknown to you, but I do. I'm a huge fan of wrestling. But something that really kind of drives me crazy is that all the WWE games, the 2016, I think it was, or 2017, maybe the 2015, I can't remember which one it was. I really got into it. Like, I was doing everything, did the main storyline. And it's like, oh, there's this create a story feature in it. Okay, cool. So I go in there and like, oh, you can download other people's. Yeah, you can, if you buy this season pass that lets you do that. And I'm like, wait a minute. So to download something that someone else made and put their time into, I have to pay this other. I'm like, okay, may I? That seems fishy to me. That one I can like, kind of like, I don't agree with, but I can understand it. It's a feature they put in specifically that if you wanted to access it, you needed to do this. What I don't like is the things like that's happening in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 game. Like, I don't know, like, I've kind of stopped following. I think they turned off microtransactions or whatever. And I'm wondering, when is this going to come to a head? And it's like, when is it going to reach the saturation point? I mean, people were spending lots of money on Farmville, like an iPhone game or an online game inside Facebook. Candy Crush. I mean, how are you? I mean, what's going to happen when it gets to a point to where everything has money? You can't play the game. It's like, okay, well, if you want to do this, you buy the game, $60. Okay, we added this extra character in there, and you can grind to get him. It's going to take you about 40 hours. You can't buy anything else. You just do that, and then or you can give us $20-$30, how much ever money it is, maybe $5-$10. And most people are like, I don't want to do that. I bought this game so I could play as Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker, or so I could draft the biggest NBA player or whatever. And now you can't do that. I mean, that's one reason why I like arcade games, and a lot of my, well, you can't really see them right now, but behind this monitor there's a stack of NES games. And actually, yeah. See, it's actually a stack of NES games there. That's why I like games like that. There is no DLC. And I understand people are like, oh, but those games had bugs. Yes, they did. Some had game-breaking bugs. But these games were made in the 80s. They all still work. Okay, so that's the 80s, 90s, 2000. We got the teens, or 2010s, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so 30 years? Okay, they still work. In 30 years, will you still be able to play Plants vs. Zombies? Like the Garden Warfare? Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2? Probably not. All those loot crates and everything that you bought, all that money you spent, where is it going to? Is it still going to? You still going to have those items? Probably not. They're about to take down the Wii Virtual Console and the one for the Wii U. Those games going to go away. If you haven't downloaded them, you don't have them, bye-bye. Now, there are ways to get them. I mean, there's illegal ways. And I mean, but that's the only way you're going to be able to play it. If you want to, like, oh, I need to hack my, or soft mod my Wii so I can actually play a game that you bought. So you got to go to a sketchy site, download it, and pray it doesn't brick your Wii. But I don't know. I mean, really, what are people going to do? Like when Adrian gets old enough to really start playing games, I'm going to have to really watch what he does, because I don't want him going, oh, here's this, and then also, like, there's another game, I can't remember what it was. Might be one of the Call of Duties or something like that, that there's older kids prey on the younger kids. Like my nephew is 10, 11, 12 years old now. I think he's 10. Oh gosh, I forgot how old he is. But my brother's, I've heard him say to him, don't give anybody else the stuff that you've bought, because there's the items you buy. He says, don't give anybody else those items, because they cost money, and other people will give them some crap item that you can get by like really, they'll talk to them, say, oh man, let me have that you had this here, this is awesome, blah blah blah, and they'll trade. And so it's basically like in Magic the Gathering, somebody convinced trading a common card for a rare card, or now a mythic rare or whatever. But it's like, no, they've really take advantage of kids and people with like an addiction to these games. Really, I mean, it's pay to win. And like, people want to say, oh, so about things like Hearthstone. So, no, Hearthstone is just a virtual collectible card game. Yes, collectible card games are pay to win. You have to buy cards so you can win. There is no free. So that's how that works. So that's just a way that you don't have to carry your cards around with you. But those are also things you can't. I don't think you can trade cards. I think you can turn them into dust or something. But yeah, I mean, at a certain point, people are just going to think there's going to be pushback. I mean, like in Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, there's a huge pushback on that. But we'll have to see how that goes. I mean, when we get to the point where every game we play, it's microtransaction, and it's not even, everybody else, I remember when it's complaining about DLC, it's like on-disc DLC. It's like, oh, this should have been released with the game. But no. It's it's on the disc. You're basically downloading a little, like a bit code that lets you access it. And now we've went from that. I mean, like, even the what was the one in Morrowind? I think it's Morrowind. Everybody's complaining. Yeah, the horse saddles. It's cosmetic. People complaining about that. And now we're complaining about in Need for Speed, you got to buy gas. It's a mobile. I think it's in the mobile version. So I understand that, but it's like, wait a minute, you have to do this, and you do this, and or on Candy Crush, and people saying, oh, I need here, do this so I can get an extra turn, or I can get a retry or something. Oh man. At a certain point, people are just going to get mad, and I think it's coming sooner than later. Problem is, the little kids, they're not going to get mad. There's not really anything they're going to do, because they can't. It's that when you're 14, 15, 16 years old, what are you going to do? You can't really. I mean, you can just say, well, I don't want to play the new Call of Duty game, the new Battlefront game. Well, while your friends are playing it, you're going to play it. If you're older, you can tell your kids, like, I'm not buying you that game. You can do chores, your allowance set up, and you can buy it, but I'm not buying it for you. And at that point, I think things will start to change. The problem is, you kind of have to have a gamer parent that gets involved. And a lot of times, the person that doesn't understand what's going on, it's like, I want Daddy, Mommy, I want Star Wars Battlefront. Okay, son, here you are. Hey, Dad, can you buy me a game card? Oh, okay. What's the game card? So I can buy things on the PlayStation Store. Oh, okay. Now, instead of them buying another game or anything, they're spending money on what? The parent is actually giving their kid money to spend it on something they thought they already bought. And when parents find that out, people can get mad and things might start changing then. But until that point, I think we're kind of screwed. But I hope you guys had a good day. Me, Adrian went to bed, woke up, and it's now 3:55. Very, very late. As you can see, my hair is all messed up. So, yeah, had a rough day. Talk to you tomorrow.